Education culture war finds a new target: pride flags in the classroom. Pride flags, which were created to promote unity, are being called political and divisive in some schools across the country. A recent example, an Oregon school board on Tuesday banned educators from displaying the flags. In most cases, administrators have said that LGBTQ emblems are divisive and political. LGBTQ students and parents and teachers affected by the bans contend that the new rules harm a vulnerable group of young people. Victor Frausto, 16, a student at MacArthur High School in Irving, Texas, said, quote, feeling safe should not be political.
You know, with that 16-year-old, I get like goosebumps because I can only imagine him thinking to myself, I don't belong here. I'm not even represented here. I can't see myself in any of this here by not having those flags present. It breaks my heart. Nobody's thinking about these children. You know, they're not putting Confederate flags up. That's not what it's about.
Yeah, exactly.
The flag has often been used in education circles, in education environments, as an emblem of a safe zone, right? So a student who is experiencing abuse at home or anything that may be happening, their own insecurities, whatever's happening, right? They go to a school counselor who's holding a flag, an emblem of the community. That's a signal. You can talk to me. This is a safe zone.
100%.
So really what they've done is that they've taken the educational environment and perverted it.
I'm curious, Orlando, to that point, from your seat as president of SAVE, if Miami-Dade County or some other county in Florida tried to enforce a ban of any LGBT emblems or flag, what would SAVE say about that, and how would it respond?
Well, I'll begin by saying that we're so fortunate in South Florida, right? Our schools have always been at the forefront of making our school environments safe and making sure that there's a reduction of bullying as much as possible. If there was ever a threat to that status quo here, I think that it would be an immediate response by number one, verbal protest, our declaration that this is not right, and really a full-on, campaign to make sure that we can be able to keep those emblems for one central purpose: the safety of our students, right? This isn't just about like stomping around because of the flag and the symbol. It's about the safety of the students, and so that needs to be what we lead with at the front.
Yeah.
Safety.
At Villain Theater, we're also a school, and we have all those flags backstage. We have the lesbian flag, the bear flag, all of them. And it's partly to not only let not even young people, adults now know that they are in a safe space, but it's also because we have a lot of guest comedians, and we want to know that they can't use the F word either on stage or backstage, or there's a certain behavior that they have to adhere to in Villain, which is inclusive and non-derogatory to any queers. So it's also, a tool to check people.
That's right. It is.
In space, but it's all about safety and feeling comfortable. So, and unfortunately, we're perverting that. We're misconstruing it with other flags and stuff.
The courts have ruled, the Supreme Court starts its session today. The Supreme Courts have repeatedly ruled through the years that students in school have First Amendment rights, and that you can't discriminate based on them being underage or in a school setting. If this exact same conversation in these schools and school districts that we're having this conversation, we'll watch this story closely. I know people like Orlando will watch this story very closely. But can you imagine if this was in other minorities? If this was an issue where you can't talk about black, or you can't talk about being Latino,
you had Black Lives Matter memorabilia or stuff is not allowed in some places of work, or
you can't put something pink because you're a cancer survivor, and they don't want to put that out there either.
So this trips dangerously into an expression of limiting free speech, which the courts have repeatedly said you cannot do, and hopefully that will be the same conclusion here. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.